If you've got $250,000 or more in super, and deep down you already know that superannuation alone won't be enough to retire the way you want, and you're watching it bounce around in managed funds with every news headline or tweet, and you've got no real control over what happens next, here's where I see most people get stuck. They know they need to do something with their super. They've looked at their balance and they know the number just doesn't feel anywhere near enough. But every time they try to move forward, they hit a roadblock. They speak to one person who tells them SMSF property is a great idea. They speak to another who says it's far too complicated. They read something online that contradicts everything they've just heard. And before long, they're turning to Google or even ChatGPT, only to end up with info overload. They hit a wall. And here's what happens if you keep waiting. Your super keeps growing at around 7% a year inside a managed fund, which sounds okay until you look at what that actually means. 250,000 growing at 7% gives you roughly 17 or 18,000 a year in growth. That same 250 used as a deposit on a 900,000 property, growing around 5% can generate closer to 45,000 a year. Same money, completely different outcome. My name's Michael Safar and I'm the founder of Safor. When I became a buyer's agent back in 2009, I was also working across financial planning, SMSF strategy, and lending. I spent over a decade doing all three together, which gave me a really good look at how everything works together. Cash flow, budgeting, tax position, mortgage reduction, superannuation strategy, and long-term wealth building. I was helping clients across all of it, not just one part of the picture. In recent years, there's been hundreds of buyer's agents entering the industry, but experience matters in this space. I've been doing this for over 16 years. It's all I focus on. It's what I'm passionate about. It's what I spend all my time in. Let me show you what this looks like in practice. We work with Alex and Valerie, who are in their late 40s, who had built up around 370,000 combined in super, and they just didn't feel like they were really getting anywhere. After going through their position and what they wanted to achieve, we structured things through their SMSF and secured a dual income brand new property in Brisbane's north for around 910,000. Today, that property brings in about 1,000 a week in rent, and a recent valuation has it sitting at around 1.1 million. We also helped Eddie, a professional in his 40s with no partner or kids, who wanted a more structured approach to building wealth. He had just under 300,000 in super. We worked through his position and secured a 3-bedroom townhouse in Melbourne's southeast for around 790,000. Since then, the property's performed well. It's now sitting around 950,000. He's got equity and it's generating about $800 a week in rent. So how does it actually work? It starts with strategy. We sit together and we go through your full position, your super balance, your income, your timeline, and what you're actually trying to achieve. We work out whether SMSF property actually makes sense for you. And if it doesn't, we'll tell you that up front. If it does, we move forward with a clear plan. From there, we handle everything. The research, the data analysis, sourcing the property, due diligence, negotiation, and managing the purchase right through to settlement. You don't need to become a property expert, guys. That's what we do every day. And in terms of how the fee works, when the right property is brand new, you don't pay us. The developer covers our fee. So there's no cost to you for the service. We're transparent about how that works, and we only recommend you when it genuinely fits the strategy. Established property is the better option. We work on a fixed fee, and you know that up front. All right, this is for you if you're in your 30s, 40s, or even 50s. You've got $250,000 or more in super and you feel behind the 8 ball. You're not looking for a get-rich-quick strategy. You understand that building wealth takes real time. You're looking for someone who will give you a straight answer, do all the work properly, and tell you if it's not right for your situation. If that sounds like you, click below and book an advisory call with me directly. It's not a sales call, it's a straightforward conversation where we look at your income, your super balance, your goals, and whether SMSF property is the right move for you.